Bellhaven Black Glass, and the beer is definitely a dark brown. 11.2 ounces, not your standard American 12. Let's see what it looks like in the glass. Very dark brown, almost black. Let me see. You cannot see through it. A beige head of about creamy looking.
Yeah.
And I can get the nose for you as well. Roasted malts and sweetness. I'll come back and give a full description after everybody else comes
All right.
drives their beer.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do the next one is Ron Dario. Go ahead there, legendary Ron.
Hello, legendary Alex. Sorry for the glare on my face from the bright outside sun.
That's it.
I'd rather have this nice sunny weather than that hurricane weather we had Wednesday, which was a bummer because I couldn't even do Wild Card Wednesday. So, and I had my the Great Pumpkin ready to roll. Okay, now today I have a beer from Port Orleans Brewing in New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't know if they have their electricity back on yet. It's a coffee break stout. And there's an old delivery truck car, like old Suburban. And it is 6.5% alcohol with this adhesive label. They have it on draft at the brewery. And it says, this time-honored tradition, they talk about the history of New Orleans coffee, is brewed in collaboration with our neighbors over at French Truck Coffee. Brewed using hand-selected Central and South American coffees, Coffee Break will change the way you think about cold brew. And they use coffee from Guatemala. I know that in Central America. I don't know about the South African countries. Probably a blend of different ones. In this snifter, you'll notice it's dark brown, and there is a beige head. Don't see any bubbles except for the foam. There's Commersazi watching. Hey, Commersazi. And we'll get back to it, I guess. Okay.
All right. Now let me get the Robert in here, and we're going to be listening to what he has to say. Go ahead there, legendary Robert.
This is Night Warden. It's a whiskey barrel-aged stout from Avery Brewing Company. It's 8.2%. I couldn't find no IBUs listed. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, barley malt, imported specialty, malted barley, malted wheat, oats, hops, and yeast. And I think I said something weird. It was Rocky Mountain water, then malted barley. I think I got my letters confused a little bit there in that first one. Then it went to imported special. Anyway, whatever.
Hey, you said barley malt. That's all
yeah,
right.
that's yeah. That was a faux.
You were probably thinking about buying coffee or something.
I don't know what I was thinking. I had too much whiskey last night. Robust stoic keeper is what it says on the side of the can. Yeah, I was entertaining with people last night, and they encouraged bad things.
Robert.
Not Robert.
So anyway, let's get her poured and see what she looks like, fellas.
That looks delish.
And I am upstairs in the living room today, so I was doing something on the computer, and I didn't feel like rushing downstairs. She pours with a nice little, slightly over 2-finger head. It's nice, chocolatey, light chocolate-colored head. Can't see through it because I'm looking out the window into the sunshine. There's no seeing through it at all. That's really a stout foam head for you. Huh. All right, guys.
All right. Now it's my turn, my friends. So today I'm reviewing Big Hugs from Other Acres Beer Company, and it's a Imperial Coffee Stout. I actually have 2 of these, and I haven't tried neither one of them. Been wanting to try them for the past month, so I figured I'd do it. The reason why I haven't been joining Stout Sunday is because I go drink beer with my uncle, and I don't feel like drinking in the morning and then doing drinking later. So that's why I did this now today, since I'm not going there as far as I know, not going there today. So let's pour this in the glass, and it's 10%. I don't know about the ABVs or whatever, but smells pretty chocolatey, coffee a little bit. Let's see what it looks like in the glass, shall we? Okay, I'll stop pouring that because I don't want it to overflow. Oh, wow. Nice aroma, too. When you first open up the can, it's like it smells like aroma like coffee, man. Nice. Well, as some of my YouTubers says, this is definitely an Alex the Beer Master pour. 3 or 4 finger ahead. And actually, one of them is Michael. He said that a couple of times. Alex the Beer Master pour, Alex pour.
It's all right.
Smells coffee. So I'm gonna smells pretty good. The head looks good. So I'll get into my stuff after everybody else. So let me get Mr. Michael here on, and we're gonna do that.
Okay, that's what it looks like in the can before. Lion Stout, 8.8, 55 IBUs from Sri Lanka. And the initial head was a little bit bigger than this, but it's still thin beige head, and you're getting good head retention and lacing on the side, which is pretty nice. Let me get a nose on it. You get the roasted malt. There's kind of a sweetness in the background. Some coffee in the more distant background. It's not really in your face. Other than that, that's all I'm getting. Go in for a taste. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. You get the sweetness in the taste. It's not cloying, though. It's just a mild sweetness. Roasted malts again in the taste as well. You get a little bit of that coffee, but it's not a strong coffee taste. It's more of a residual coffee taste. Kind of a thicker mouthfeel on this one. And you're not gonna after drinking this one feel that it's a low alcohol beer, because you can tell by the taste and the mouthfeel that there is alcohol here. It's not one that you can, it's 8.8. It's not one you really can taste the 8.8, but you can feel that it's more than 6. There's kind of a fruitiness a little bit in the taste as well. It's a drinkable beer, though, and I guess I wouldn't recommend this to your first time stout drinker, but if you've been somebody who's been drinking stout for a while, this is one you should definitely try. And it's not an extensive list of what you can get in tropical stouts anyway, but there are other ones. There's one in Jamaica you can get, and there are a few others you can get. They're a little bit different than your average, stouts, in that they tend to be a little bit higher in alcohol, and they are, at least the two I've had, one from Jamaica as well, are easy drinking. And I've had this one several times, and I keep going back and buying it, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'll come back and have a review for you after everybody else goes through their discussion.
All right, so let's go back to legendary Ron Terrio. Bam.
I want to say good morning to Michael and Whiskey Scout, and to you, Alex. I didn't say good morning earlier.
That's
Good
okay.
morning,
You're
sir.
afraid to be on here, my friend. Appreciate
Good
it.
morning.
I'm looking at the Lion Beer website right now. But actually, the company's called Ceylon. Does anybody know why it's called Ceylon Brewing? If it's
No.
from Sri
Because
Lanka?
it's on the island of Ceylon, of Sri Lanka.
Right. Until 1972, the country was known as Ceylon, and they changed the name. They have a whole portfolio, which I wish we could get. You know, we always get like one sample to tease us, and then we don't get anything else. You know, I would like to try this thing called GB, which I assume stands for Great Britain. And the reason I assume that is because, do you know that company was started by a man named Sir Samuel Baker, and in 1860, and yeah, Queen Elizabeth was the queen of Ceylon until 1972, when they decided to break their ties to the British crown. So it's interesting. But I want to read this real fast, Alex, and I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
This GB, there must be a law in that country that nothing can be above 8.8, because every one of their strong beers are 8.8 exactly. There's no 9. But it says, listen what it says about GB. It's a really strong beer, 8.8. It says, delivers a great lasting kick while allowing the drinker to stay in control. Perfect for taking away tiredness at the end of the day. GB doesn't leave you with a bloated, heavy feel due to its low carbonation. I just thought it was interesting reading that you know, it's saying it delivers a kick. You know, I don't think American beer companies can really allow to focus on that too much. You know, the kick part of it. Anyway, enough of the history lesson. All right. But like William Kepley says, sometimes the history is more interesting than the product, because it's just so fascinating. Yeah. It's got a coffee aroma. If you like coffee, you might really like it. Now, if you don't like coffee, I think this beer is going to just turn your stomach, you know. And John Anilli is not a coffee drinker, but he kind of likes coffee beers. I know I went to his house twice, and he said, I would offer you some coffee, but I don't have any. So I just went to like a restaurant down the road when I, you know, got up in the morning. But it's dark roasted malt. You know what stouts taste like, dark roasted. But it's mild. This thing is really mild. And then you have some background coffee. There's a little creaminess. Medium body. Medium dry finish. The coffee is very subdued. You get it's funny about these beers. You get the initial pour, and it's a whiff of coffee, but then that'll fade. It's kind of like skunked beers. Stuart Picard taught me that. He said, if you wait 1 minute, the skunk will go away. And I started following what he said, and he's right. It always went away. It's strange. But we tend to smell the beers right off the bat, right? So I really like it. Michael, yours is 8.8, right? Or is it different for the U.S. market?
8.8, 55 IBUs.
Now you see, I think I would rather be drinking an 8.8 stout right now. But there's a place for the mid ABV stouts, and you know, that's fine. You got really low ones like 4.2, right? You got 4.2% stouts.
Yep.
And then you got some 15% killers. Yeah.
I'm happy I'm not drinking one of those.
Oh man, those things, they're good, but then you drink them, and if later on you feel like you took medicine or somebody drugged you, you know, like somebody drugged me, you know, I don't like that feeling. So thank you, Alex, for your consideration.
You are welcome, Ron. I like to hear your stories anyway, so I have no problem listening to you.
Thank you, folks.
Anytime, my friend. All right, let's get Mr. Robert on.
All right. Night Warden is pretty interesting. It's the first time I've had it. I do like the can art, by the way. That's pretty cool. Guy walking around checking in the old times with the kerosene lantern. But anyway, nose, and the nose improves as it warms. It gets more, the flavors become more intense as it warms. But the nose is pretty simple. We're talking wild chocolate, roasted maltiness, toffee, and roasted marshmallow. Like you get a marshmallow over the fire, I get a little bit of that in this as well.
Yeah.
That's about all I get in the nose. Now, palate follows nose to a certain degree, but the palate improves. It's better than the nose. I didn't get any of the whiskey notes on the nose, but as we get into the palate, the chocolate's still there. It remains there. It's not a dark, bittersweet chocolate. It's just kind of like a milk chocolate. The whiskey notes are there. It's slightly woody from the barrel aging process. You get a little bit of that wood note. You get toffee with this one instead of caramel. You get more of that toffee note, that darker, a little richer. Toffee has usually a little chocolate mixed in. That kind of blends together. It's becoming more toffee-like and taste-wise. Then it gets dried figs. Dried figs I often get on a lot of these products, especially that are barrel aged. It just comes along with the thing. Downside to this, it has a light to medium body. At 8.5%, I was kind of expecting a little thicker, a little more mouthfeel, a little more richness, a little more unctuousness in the palate. I'm not getting that. It's coming across 8.5% is much more lighter in body than what I expect. And that's kind of a drawback to me because I kind of was expecting something a little more rich. Now, there is a light carbonation that pervades through the entire experience, and it's probably what keeping it more lighter than it needs to be. As far as flavor delivery, it's all there. It's all at once, though. It's not something that transitions well across the tongue. You can just take the sip and you can get it all. And it's not a big transitional one. Now, that's not saying this is bad because I'm pointing out the negatives, and it's just saying those are things that at 8.5%, Avery's a great company. I kind of expected seeing a little bit more of those things in it than I got. I do enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with. There's no detractors other than mouthfeel and the way it delivers the flavors across the palate. And you would think with oats added, it would have more of that slick oat mouthfeel. I don't get that. I mean, it's not there. It's that carbonation is fighting the oats, I think. I think that's the whole issue in this. But it's great. I like the sip. The sip is good. I mean, it's just I'm getting into nitpicking range, I guess you could sort of say. But overall, flavor delivery is good on it. The rest is kind of, I expected more and got less. So I'll think about a score.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you, Robert. Thanks for joining, by the way.
Oh, no problem.
Well, as you can see, still has a nice lacing on it. Died down a little bit, but it has nice lacing on the glass. It's jet black. There's no clearness whatsoever. Kind of smells a little boozy. I like the coffee forward one, and this is coffee, but I like it to smell like coffee, not too much booziness. It smells very boozy. I'm not a big boozy person. I will drink those beers, but not too big of a boozy person, unless they have great flavor. Smells like a chocolate, but I cannot take coffee. I thought at first when I said this morning, a few minutes ago, I thought I did take coffee, but I can't text that. I can't. Let's see what it tastes like, shall we? Cheers.
Cheers, Alex.
Cheers, Alex. Cheers.
It's Drunken One.
Dio.
Welcome, Drunken One. Appreciate you. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Julie is here. The whole gang's here. Sorry, Alex.
Hey, Julie and Drunken One, if you guys have a stout, you can jump on the panel. I saw you on the bottom there for a few minutes ago, Julie, when you were about to join. But I don't know. It does taste like it smells. It is a little bit boozy, but it's still a tasty beer. But it's kind of hard to taste the coffee. I thought it would taste like actual coffee, like all coffee beers, but it does have that bitterness, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of dryness. Yeah, as you drink it, the first thing you taste is booziness. I mean, I thought maybe a 10% would get rid of the booziness, but I think they wanted booziness. I think that's why they have it in here.
Yep. What's the alcohol by volume?
I think it's 10%.
Yeah, they weren't going for low.
No, but I was thinking 10% would get rid of the booze and make it coffee forward.
No, it ain't. Booze don't get rid of booze.
No. No.
It's good. It's a good beer. I have one more can of this, so I'll have to review it again or just drink it. I'm reviewing it now. So this is a very tasty beer. I'm trying to see. It kind of tastes like figs, I think. I think that's what I'm tasting. But if that's the case, that I do like that. It does have a fig taste, so that's good. So not that much. So it's a little bit of booziness, a lot more booziness. But as I'm tasting it, it does taste like a fig a little bit. That's tasty. I probably would get this again, but I might not get it again all the time because, again, it is a little bit too much booziness for me. There's no warminess. That I'm surprised. Now that's the shocking part. You'd think at 10%, 11%, you would have warminess. But there's no warminess in the chest. Maybe a little bit. But not too much. I have as you drink it, it kind of has a little bit of bitterness, just a little bit. Very tasty. So I'm gonna get back to me. When everybody else does their rating. I'm sorry I ramble on, but I'm just trying to pick out what I'm tasting in the beer.
You don't ramble nearly as bad as I do.
But yeah,
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
You did a good job.
Yeah, I'm getting better and better.
Yep.
Wow. That is a little bit booziness, but I do like it. I might get it again. So, all right, let's let the legendary Michael.
Okay. As it warms, the taste, if anything, is becoming a little bit more intense, and you're getting the roasted malts again, and the sweetness, and everything combined does a pretty good job. And it's full-bodied, like I said. I am going to give this a solid A 94.
Nice.
And I would definitely buy it again. And this could be somebody's standard, as long as you can, you 8.8% is not too heavy a stout for you. This could be something you could go back to as a regular thing because it's well crafted and it's consistent. So I'd like to try some of those other beers, Jay, that you saw on the website as well.
I know, right? Like if they made them available, we'd buy them, right? What?
The Lion's a good example. I would try something else from the company for sure.
Not sure I've ever seen that in Kansas.
That's too bad.
It does come in bottles as well.
Right.
Yep, that's where I've gotten the bottles.
I don't know how it does in other national places, but it's available in New York City. And my food co-op doesn't have it all the time, but it has it more than it doesn't. So whenever I see it, I try to buy a 6-pack of it.
And you've had the one from Jamaica, the Dragon Stout.
I tried the Dragon Stout as well. And it was funny, we've discussed this too. It comes in a 9.6 bottle.
What a insult.
Which I considered a ripoff only because it fooled me. I took it off the shelf without even looking at it, and I brought it home. The price was okay. It wasn't cheap, but it was okay. I'm assuming I'm getting 11.2, and I look at the side of the bottle, it's 9.6. And I said, it's like you're giving me an extra special, shafting without knowing it, because the bottle looks like it's the same size as the standard 11.2 ounce bottle. So they are kind of being deceptive, but
Yeah.
whatever. I still bought a couple of 6-packs of it. So, I mean, it's not like I had it for a while. And I don't know if anybody can remember back. I at least did it a couple of times on Stout Sunday because I wanted to get across the fact that it was also a well-crafted beer. A little bit lower in alcohol than this one. I think it's 7.5.
Yeah.
Where this one is 8.8. But also a good tropical stout.
The funny thing about Dragon is that it's the original beer from Desno and Geddes. Everybody knows about Red Stripe.
Yes.
Yep.
But they made Dragon Stout before Red Stripe. Red Stripe was introduced as their lighter beer, but they started off with Dragon Stout. And you think of the Caribbean being so warm and humid, but one of the most popular styles of beer down there is stout.
They're not on.
Yeah, stout. Okay. Now
You see him on there.
this beer, which is dark, not bitter at all. The IBUs must be very low. Very malty. But anyway, this thing.
Sorry, guys. My wife's here. We're talking. I don't mean to be.
That's okay. Do what you got to do there, legendary Robert.
No, I'm sorry.
I was wondering if I got invited to a conference. I didn't know what was happening. Now, got him. Anyway, I'm glad I never ramble on, but before I talk about this beer, I'll tell you about a trip I took to Florida in 1976. No, I'm just kidding.
Back to the beer.
You're not very nice right now. Okay.
We love you, Ron.
Just having fun drinking stout on a Sunday morning.
Hey, Ron, you can have fun anytime on my Stout Sunday or Dylan's Stout Sunday.
And you can have any. How do you say it? You can have fun anytime on my Stout Sunday. Assuming
There you go.
if the legendary John Neely doesn't do it again, me and you're going to have a showdown, a sword fight over who gets to host Stout Sunday. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I like it. I mean, it's not incredibly awesome, great, extraordinary, wonderful. But on the other hand, it is competent and good and enjoyable and well made. And we were talking a bunch about grading beers, and William Kepley was talking about that Wednesday night after Joker's Wild. And he was right about that it doesn't really matter so much on your scale, as long as your scale has a consistency and has a, like something people can identify with, or they can rationalize it, make sense out of it, not something that's jumping all around. And my scale, I think, does have rationale to it and makes sense. And I tried to emphasize that in Alcohol X, but when you have a group of hundreds of people, it's hard to get them to understand that. But I tried to make it simple over there, the 10-point scale, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, so on. So a lot of beers I review fall into 95, 93. People always say, oh, not 93 again. And I think there's a reason for that. You see, when you're dealing with 100 points, you got a lot of I almost said leeway. A lot of leeway. You got a lot of leeway. Maybe I'll make a beer with Marley Bolt. But you can kind of play around with those numbers, and I don't mean manipulate them in a dishonest manner or anything like that. I just mean it gives you more ability to be specific with a score, So there are so many beers on the market that are really nice, good. They're so enjoyable. Like you would never get tired of drinking it. You know what I mean? And I think the confusion that people have is that they think in their mind, I have to make so many A's, so many B's, so many C's, so many D's, F's. Like I have to make like a standard deviation and whatnot. Okay, there's one little issue with that. You don't have to do that.
No.
Because
Right.
what if all the beers are coming out most excellent, like 9 times out of 10, you're saying, wow, this beer is great. That could mean that you've got a vast number of breweries that are utilizing an expertise and a great skill set and producing fabulous beers. I don't see that as a downside.
No. I
And
agree.
the worst thing I think a person would do or could do is to start to, you could even do it unconsciously, lower the scores to make it more spread out to avoid people coming at you. That is wrong. Look, if I said this, I must have said it 10 times in my videos. If I do 1,000 beers coming up and they all score 93 to 95, that's the score they're getting. I don't know what they're going to score because I hadn't tried them yet. But I see it as a benefit where you're drinking great. Oh, this is great. This is good. This is great. And there's a big difference between a 93 and a 99, okay?
Oh, yeah.
How many times do you see me give a 99? It isn't too often. 90, it's almost, yeah, it's almost like a 93 now is upper level mediocrity. It's like, oh, golly, our team was 9-3 again this year. They went to the Citrus Bowl. It's time to fire the coach. It starts becoming that kind of thinking, kind of mentality. You know, we want to win the national championship every year. Well, you're not going to go 12-0 every year. Sorry, kids. Ask LSU about that. Call them up. Call Coach O. Ask him what's going on. So, and I'm sorry for talking about this, Alex, but
That's okay. Anytime, my friend. Go ahead. I'm listening. I like listening to
me, it's interesting. To me, it's interesting to talk about it because, you know, we could all just say, oh, I tried this stout, I tasted it. Here's my score. I tried this stout, I tasted it. That's nice and all. But I am giving it a 93. I think a strong argument could be made that a 93 just represents upper level mediocrity, which I stole that description from a caller on a radio show when I was on a road trip where he wanted to get rid of Philip Fulmer in Tennessee because he said, I'm sick of this upper level mediocrity. So I said, I'm going to use that term in my life. So I didn't pay a lot. You know, you pay $1.65, you get a 93, no problem. The problem is when I'm paying $6.99 for a can or bottle and I'm getting a 93. Because now I'm getting irritated. I'm paying national championship game prices and I'm getting the Citrus Bowl. And now we got a problem. You know? And that's where a
really good analogy.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of the controversy comes in because I have paid a lot of money for beers that are seemingly world class, and then they score 93. A 93 ain't nothing. It's like, man, if you can't make beers in the 90s, you need to shut your company down and go out of business. And that's the way I feel about it. And wait till you see our video for Pumpkinator, my friend David. I was like staring at the camera like, are you kidding?
Awesome. You're awesome, Ron. I can't, honestly, I'll tell you this much, though. I can't wait to meet you in person, Ron. You're going to be a trip. You're already a trip online. Let's see what you're like in real life. I can't wait.
Thank you. I was trying to cover for my friend David. When he gave that beer to score, he gave it. I said, well, folks, you have to understand, we have been drinking many beers previous to this particular review. I was trying to prepare for the comments I know I'm going to get.
Hey, Ron, I'm curious. When we do hang out, are you going to have David Carnaby? Because that's the person I want to meet as well. I mean, I don't know. Yes.
That
Well,
will
I
only
don't
be
know,
if you go down there.
I can't hear you. Right?
It's a good question. I have no good answer because you have to understand. I retired and I work part-time now.
Yes, you do.
It's very nice. Most people don't have that luxury. So he works full-time. So it's not like he can just say to his company, oh, I'm going on a road trip to go see Alex, the beer master. They don't give a hoot about that. They might say, well, go ahead and go forever. you know.
Well, no, but it's going to be a year from now, basically. It's going to be in 2021. So basically, you would be okay because you would already have the job a year.
You got to understand, it may not matter if you had the job 20 years. You can't just
He may not want to spend his vacation visiting you, Alex.
Oh.
You got to keep that in mind.
It's nothing like that. It's just that he may not be able to go.
Well, yeah, but what I was getting at there was when we get our vacation, a lot of times, especially when I used to work all the time like I did, it would always be to go see family. I mean, because you only see the family so much and you got to travel. Usually that's how my vacations always ended up with my wife's family in Louisiana, my family in Oklahoma. And sometimes it gets a bit old. But
right, and he's been coordinating his efforts the last few months with this lady. And if he gets a vacation, he might have to coordinate his vacation efforts with the lady. He might not be able to tell her, well, look, I'm going to do a beer trip. That may not really go over too well.
Yeah, this is true. Yes.
Well, no, but I'm saying the reason why you're going is to meet me, but also you like to have somebody with you. That's what I was saying too, Ron. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, all of those things are in play, and we can't rule anything out, but we also can't guarantee anything. I'm just saying there's certain things that have to be considered. Ronnie Yes wanted to go. We were planning the trip. Guess what? He couldn't go because work. And I had to cancel my trip this past summer. I already had the reservation made. All the hotel reservations were made. But with this pandemic or so-called thing that they have, I just canceled it because it wasn't going to be any kind of good trip.
No. But either way, Ron, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. So don't worry. Regardless when you come.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, works for me now. All right.
Sorry about that, my friend.
I kind of second everything Ron said. I think the quality control on beers this day and age it's hard to get. I mean, there's some mediocre ones, but there are mostly all of them are decent to good beers. And that's just the nature of, if you have a startup distillery and you make a bad product and you're starting on your shoestrings, well, you're going to eat your shoestrings before it's over because people are not going to buy it. And that's where we're at right now. And so you have got to use good quality control if you are going to make it in this business. And that's just all there is to it. So in that case, yes. Now, I know Michael's going to ask this question. No, I don't get no alcohol notes on this. And even as it warms up. Now, Alex, there is a difference between booziness and alcohol notes. You have to understand, especially when you're drinking barrel-aged products. You can get that boozy whiskey notes, but that's not necessarily alcohol translating to your palate. Those are two very different things. You have to kind of understand that. And as you drink more, you will begin to. The alcohol note is different than just your standard sort of booziness. Now, they often do go hand in hand. I'm not telling you they don't. But a lot of times, especially, this is a good product. I get no alcohol notes, but I get a lot of the whiskey barrel influence into this. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there in some ways. Now, my score for this is a 92 because I expected more, got less than what I expected. That's not to say this is a bad product at all. In fact, I would gladly, if somebody had this in there, had 2 or 3 stouts in there, and I would gladly accept this. I would buy this again. I would have no issue buying this again. But it's just not in that next level that I'm looking for. It's missing that next step. And it's a transitional thing for me. I like transitional flavors that transition across the palate. This doesn't deliver that. It delivers it all at once. If you're going to advertise it with oatiness, I expect some slickness, some mouthfeel with it that I'm not getting. And like I said, though, the carbonation does fight that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on everything. And 92 is a good score. And I would drink this again for sure. I have no problem buying it again. In fact, for that matter, I don't know what I paid for it. I think it's probably like $2.59 or something like that. But wasn't overly
I have a suggestion for you, my friend. And it's going to be unique, but I know you don't have whiskey nearby you, but it's not too far away. But I was curious. I wonder what it would taste like if you put a little bit of whiskey in that.
I'm not doing that. I got to go to the hospital later this morning. I'm not going to.
What's wrong?
I'm not going to get intoxicated before I jump in the car and drive.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that, Robert. So
That's not going to happen. After I get done with this, I'm going to start some navy beans and ham hocks. Then I got to go to see Dad, and then when I get home, those should be done.
I'm sorry, Robert. I didn't know you had to go to the hospital. So we'll do those testings when I know you don't have to go anywhere.
Okay.
The reason why I said that, Robert, is because I like to try whiskeys inside the beer. I'm weird. I'm just weird like that. That's why I'm giving you suggestions every time.
Yeah, now. I'm not big on that personally myself. I've tried it several times and it just doesn't work out.
Well, okay. Well, then it has to be a good whiskey to work out. Then, all right, that's understandable. Okay,
not necessarily.
Okay. or a good beer, or a good beer pairing to match up.
Right. They all have to work together.
Alex,
Yeah.
I like doing that. I like doing that, but other people just do not. You know, some people like to eat ice cream with pickles. Most people don't. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's true. And pickle with ice cream, that might be a good idea. Now, man, these YouTubers always give me crazy ideas. Okay. All right. That's why I love my YouTube friends. All right. So what's your rating, Ron? Robert. Let me get you back.
I gave it a 92. It's a 92. It's an A. It's a definite A. It's just missing that. It's missing a few things that's going to take it over the 95 to the 99 zone. It's just not quite there, but it's good quality. It's a good quality product. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just lacking in mouthfeel and transitions. And it's just, that's where it's, but again, we're back to splitting hairs. Once you get to the 90 range, I mean, you have certain expectations, and if those don't meet your expectations, which mine might be different than Michael's, mine is probably different than Ron's, mine's probably different than yours, I'm looking for certain things you guys probably are not. And so my score reflects what I'm looking at when your guys' score reflects what you're looking at. And that's just the nature of all of us having different palates.
And I understand because it's supposed to be a creamy feel, but according to you, it doesn't have.
Doesn't bring it. No, not with.
Doesn't have that creamy feel, and that's the problem. It actually it gives you the oats and stuff like that, but you're supposed to, when you have the oats, you're supposed to have that creamy feel. I hate when you advertise that, and it's not.
Again, it was a very highly carbonated beer, which was not anticipated. So. Those two things, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, carbonation fights mouthfeel. Carbonation makes everything feel lighter than it really is. And so you've got, if they didn't add the oats, I mean, this is all speculation now, but if they don't add the oats, it would be even lighter because of the high carbonation content. So, I mean, it's all give and take. It's all give and take.
So sometimes it kind of messes up with the creaminess. Sometimes.
This case, it did. I feel it did in this case.
Okay. Awesome. Maybe the next beer will be much creamier, and I hope they do come up with your reputations, but we'll see.
Yep.
We shall see, my friend. All right. Now, let's go back to me. I just like to give all my YouTube friends and all my people that are on the panel, their say, because I like to enjoy their stories. I can't help it. I'm a talker myself. So,
you?
Yeah, of course, me. Come on. I love you guys. This stuff so far is good. I'm actually going to think of it, what Robert has said. I thought I tasted booziness, but I really don't. I thought I taste alcohol. I kind of tasted like in the back end a little bit. But it is not that bad, actually. I would get this again. But I wish it would have more coffee because it says, that's what I don't like. It says coffee. I don't taste coffee. That kind of drives me nuts.
Okay.
I mean, because you know what coffee tastes like. I mean,
if they advertise it, you expect it.
Mm-hmm. Would I get this again just to drink it? Maybe. But I'm gonna give this beer, because it doesn't have that coffee flavor, I'm gonna give it an 85. Yes, that's a low rating. Maybe I should give it a lower. But I still want to give it fairness. It's still a good beer. But
Give it whatever you want to give it if you think it deserves it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if it had coffee, trust me, I would, give it 90. What I mean by tasting coffee, because it should, because it says there's coffee in it or coffee on the can. So I'm going to have to give this an 85. Kind of sucks, but hey, sometimes you have to do that. I'm not going to say it's a 90 if it doesn't taste like coffee. Because then I'm lying to myself. So I don't want to do that. So that is an 85. And I would give it again just to drink if I want, but I have better beers to try. So we'll see what happens with that. But I have another one. So, all right. So I'm going to put on full panel here. Actually, let's see if there's any plugins there for everybody here. I'm going to let Legendary Ron do Michael, do any plugins. Go ahead, Michael. Do you have any plugins to do?
Yes, I do. Tomorrow is Malty Monday on Bumpy's channel, and we're going to be doing Imperial Porters. And this is what I'm going to have from Jack's Abbey in Framingham, Massachusetts. The Super Mole Framing Hammer, which is a bourbon barrel-aged porter with, let's see, on the side, chili peppers, chocolate, cinnamon, and vanilla beans, 10% alcohol, and 45 IBUs. So that's going to be my beer tomorrow. On what would be Wild Card Wednesday, since it's the first week of the month, Ron will be hosting again. It's going to be Imperial Stouts. So everybody should get their Imperial Stouts together to join. And next week will be Stout Sunday, and John will be back home, so he'll be hosting. The other comment I'd like to make,
go ahead, Michael,
because you brought up doing a cuvee or adding hard liquor to beer. The only problem that you have with it, and I think Robert made the point too, it could be the finest whiskey in the world. It has to meld with the flavors of the barrel-aged beer, or else you're just wasting good whiskey.
True that.
It has to be, and obviously Robert knows a lot about whiskey, so it's not that you can always tell what you're going to get when you mix things together.
No, yeah.
There's a lot of luck involved, and I'm not somebody who does it a lot. I've done it, but there's luck involved in it, and it's possible you could use a cheaper bourbon and it would have a better effect than a more expensive one. So it's not like it's a very hit and miss kind of thing, and it's one of the reasons why I don't do it a lot, because I would rather drink the beer for what it is and not, now sometimes you can do it, and then at the very end when you have a couple of ounces left, mix it and try it because you just want to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that either. But to each his own, and I'm just not a big cuvee kind of guy. It's just how I am.
And that's true, Michael. And also, it also could be if you have a peanut butter beer and a peanut butter stout. Does it mean it's good? Not a peanut butter beer. Peanut butter beer and a peanut butter whiskey. Does it mean it's going to match up? No, but it has a better chance of matching up because it's similar to peanut butter. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you think about that. Go ahead there, Michael.
Alex and I talked about doing stout and putting peanut butter in it.
Well, but real peanut butter. What Ron said.
Actual peanut butter.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that soon, eventually too. I don't know what stout I'm going to use, but I'll have to collide with Ron there, and we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. Any stout will probably do, but I wonder, because Sweet Baby Jesus was a good. Sweet Baby Jesus tastes like peanut butter. I don't know if you guys ever had that, but
I've had it. There are others now too. Other companies make peanut butter porters and peanut butter stouts now, so you can get them. I like peanut butter in beer. I think it goes well. It's just when you introduce that regular peanut butter to it, it may not be exactly the same taste that you expect. Now it should go because it's peanut butter, but it depends how it mixes with the beer. It's not like you can't make. It's not a scientific thing where you automatically are making a product that's going to taste better.
Might be a hit,
You're thinking, you're taking a predominantly oily product like peanut butter, you're putting it in a stout or a porter, and how it mixes and the amounts you mix is kind of difficult in that aspect because, I mean, you've already got a saturated solution basically. So what you're doing is you're taking that saturated solution and you're oversaturating it one direction or another, and that can directly affect so many of the compositions in there. So you start off small. The only way to properly do it is to start off with small amounts, and then you'll know when you hit the point you should not go any further because it overtly affects the flavor in a negative way. So, and I want to be honest, I don't want to take the time personally. That's like adding whiskey to beer. I don't like to take the time to actually do that. I mean, it sounds fine, but you have to start out with the same beer, pour 5 glasses or 10 glasses of the same beer. You start out with a 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, so on and so forth. And you end up with too much whiskey in the beer and you're throwing that out because that's nasty, not enough. And you're throwing that out because you eventually arrive in the middle, but you waste a lot of whiskey and beer, and I'd just rather drink the beer than the whiskey.
I got you. I feel the same way. I feel the same way Robert does too. I feel exactly the same way. Use it shots. Take shots of the alcohol with the beer then instead of mixing them together.
Alex, in about 1 minute, I have to go start cooking these potatoes.
Okay, all right, let me get you on here, and then I'm gonna go to me, and then I'm gonna shut down.
Yeah, I got to start cooking these potatoes. Promos, yeah, like Michael said, Imperial Stouts on Wednesday at 7:20 to 7:30 Eastern time. I don't have any Imperial Porters, and I don't think they're sold in this town. I'm not driving 30 miles to go look for Imperial Porter.
No Baltic Porters?
I mean,
I thought you got Comeys there. Komes?
They sold that for like a month.
Oh, wow.
And then when it was gone, they never bought it again.
Huh.
Would have been perfect. I'll look tomorrow, but there's only one store here that's going to have it, and that's Mathern's, and I don't think they have any Imperial Porters. They got Imperial Stouts, but that doesn't apply. And like I said, I'm not going to drive 30 miles just to go get it for a beer show. I don't know what else to say. I just can't. I told Bumpy in the past there'd be nights where I can't join because I can't get the beer. He understands.
No, it's understandable.
Secondly, I have this challenge coming up this week. I got Sazerac. I got to start as soon as I get off of this. I got to start uploading my solo review, a revisit. I got Sazerac rye. Got a great deal on this. They're having a price war in the New Orleans area right now with it. Everybody's got it for $17.99. That's not the normal price, but I say let them keep battling. This is my benefit. So I got it for $17.99, and it's going to go up against Dickel Rye. And I keep finding these great deals. I mean, I'm not trying to brag about it or say, look what I got. Haha, look what you don't have.
It's not a brag, Ron.
It's just where you live at. You have something we don't have. It is.
It's not a brag, Ron. It's just those stores that you go to have deals, and that's good. You should have deals, so you don't have to waste your money.
Yeah, so $17.99. And everybody, I watched a bunch of video reviews yesterday about this, and they were all saying, well, it's not bad for a $30 whiskey. I said, $30, huh? This one I got for $12.50 at Walmart. That's unheard of. This is not a mini bottle, $12.50.
They're just taking empty bottles and refilling it with Kentucky Gentlemen.
See, I shouldn't even talk about this because now the jelly. I guarantee it ain't no Kentucky Gentleman. Yes. Is going to be the next competitor, Woodford Reserve Rye. Look, you know what we paid for these 375s? $6.99. $6.99. So we paid $13.98 for a 750. That's unheard of. That's unreal. That is not normal. But I don't know.
No, that's not. You're right.
I don't know what's going on at Savannah Discount. This is the last competitor this week. Jack Daniels. We paid $5.99 for these 375s. So that's $11.98 for a 750. Ain't no way that's a normal price. That's half price, people. That's half price.
Yeah,
you might.
I'm paying $21 for the Jack Daniels rye.
it's off the chain. So people tell me, why you keep buying everything? Why? I mean, who's not going to buy this? I checked Total Wine this morning. Total Wine's got this big jug bottle of Cane Run for $19.99. That's cheap. I bought it for $9.99.
Is that a rum or a run?
Cane Run original rum.
Okay, because that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's their number 12 blend. Not that they have any other blends. They're the only one they got. So we have our number 12. The other ones.
Number 12.
To 11 and 10.
But no joke, though. No joke. I got this at Discount Depot for $9.99. I'm pretty sure that's the cheapest price in the United States of America. $9.99 for this handle bottle. That's not normal. And then to close it out, this was not that great of a deal, but still was cheaper. $13.99 for From the Door. And Total Wine's got it for $2 more. So still, I beat them by $2. And it's not easy to beat. This is brandy. It's not easy to beat Total Wine.
Now, I've seen Fundador, but I've never seen Cane Run before.
Yeah, Cane Run's only been on the market 5 years. It's kind of a new kid on the block. It's pretty popular in Louisiana, but I don't know if it's doing well other places.
Yeah.
Sazerac. It's from Trinidad, the island of Trinidad. Anyway, that's my showcase.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Robert, do you have any plugins or no?
This is because I didn't get a video shot last week for a lot of reasons, so maybe I'll catch up this next week. And also, Alex, did you ever watch the video I shot for you that you picked out?
No.
That's what I thought.
Check it out.
That's what
I don't know. Wait a minute. Did we? I don't think I picked out a whiskey yet.
Yeah, well, it's on there. It's the last video I did. So this is my choice for Multi Monday, provided I can be there. It depends on if they let Dad out, what I got to do. But I anticipate being there. And it's a Gomez. It's the same thing Bumpy's got, except he doesn't have the raspberry porter. He has they have two. They have the raspberry porter and the other. Now, this is all they had. Literally, out of the blue, I go into Burgart's Liquor, and I walked back there and I said, the guy asked me, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm looking for a Baltic. He said, a Baltic porter. He said, we just got these in. And they didn't even have a price. I paid $4.30 cents for it. So it come to $4.69 with tax. So, but anyway, I got that for Bumpy, and they had that, and they had a Russian Imperial Stout from Gomez. So I just bought this one for now. But Bumpy, his is blue label, and his is just a standard Baltic porter. As far as anything else, I got plenty to be on Ron's Wednesday if I'm home and everything works out. So
Excellent.
I have
Alex.
a lot of Imperial Stouts to choose from. I've cellared.
Well, I'll be glad.
Right, that's it.
I'll be glad that you joined, man.
Yes, Ron.
Best wishes with your father. I'm sorry he's in the hospital.
I'm probably going to ask about that after we get offline, because I don't want to bring out personal stuff. So if I ask Robert anything, it's going to be offline. I don't want to.
I understand, but I should be cooking those potatoes already 5 minutes late. Here's the thing. I think this is an example of a mistake. This is Cruzan Blackstrap. It's from their Estate Diamond collection. All right. Now, Cruzan usually run you about $10 or less, about $10 or $11 a bottle. This is one of their specialty rums.
Really?
If you check around on various websites, it'd be about at the cheapest $18.99, but you probably won't get it for that. You might get $18.99, $17.99. Okay. I looked on Total Wine and I said, oh, that's a mistake. I mean, they had it for $8.49. I said, $8.49? That's what they price like the garbage rum for. I mean, the really bad stuff.
The garbage.
Well,
You drink.
I'm
sorry, I couldn't. I tried to restrain that comment.
I'm sorry. He said garbage. That cracks me up.
Jay, would one of those garbage rums be like Ron Rico? Would that be considered a garbage rum?
Or Cane Run.
Okay, now it's a war.
Okay, I'll see you.
Oh, we love you, Jack. We love you.
That's all right, Alex. I got some special videos to make in a little bit. Let me tell you something. Ron Rio would be the garbage rum because it smells like Monsanto Roundup and bad gas, which is rancid sugarcane stalks. But this stuff, back to this, there is no way a bottle of this would be $8.49. So I went to Total Wine, and there was the tag. I said, well, I'm gonna buy it. I bet you it's not gonna ring up right. I don't understand this. I mean, it's a big corporate company, big company. It rang up. I said, well, I'm buying it. I said, there ain't no way anybody in America is getting this for $8.49. I can't explain, but I bought it.
Well, a lot of it has to do with now you know how much markup alcohol really and truly has. If they can sell it and they're still selling it for a profit at $8.49, they're probably buying each one of those bottles for $4 or less.
Something might have happened, like they ordered too much or whatever. But it's an unusually low price. Believe me, if you check all the other stores, it's
Right.
way more than this.
Hey, Robert, do you have any plugins before we get off? Because I'm going to show
That
my
was
beer.
all. What I did earlier is all I got. I really got nothing else. I just
All right. I'm gonna get my beer and show you what I'm gonna do for Multi Monday as well. And then I'm signing off because we're pretty long now.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Alex.
Take care, Jay. We'll
see you later, Jay.
we'll see you
Have a
on
good day.
Wednesday.
You too. You too.
Alex.
Wow, that's an interesting way to end your show, by leaving while you're on air.
No, I'm still here. Hello, I'm still here.
Alex.
I'm showing this, guys. I didn't go bye-bye. I said I'm going to go show you this.
Okay.
This is what I don't leave like that. That's kind of rude.
Gonzo.
So this is what I'm going to be bringing on Multi Monday.
Wow.
Gonzo
Wow.
Imperial Porter.
Alex, I've had that one before. You're gonna like it.
Oh, you know what? I like that, Michael, that you drink these beers before me, because then I know I'm going to like them and then I fall in love with them. So
It's going to be right in your wheelhouse. You're gonna like it.
Is it creamy?
It's intense, but it's nice. You're gonna like it.
Enough that I'll probably get it again then. Okay, well, that's awesome.
I would get it again for sure.
Awesome. So, all right, let me.
After you drink, you'll have a sudden urge to listen to a Ted Nugent album
So,
called Great Gonzo.
Stranglehold.
No, Great Gonzos.
yeah, I don't. Hey, Ron, can you get this too? Oh, well, you left when you get back.
No.
No.
I've never seen it.
From Colorado.
I have never seen that. It's from
Well,
Colorado.
no, this is Flying Dog. This is Flying. I think this is.
Is it Flying Dog?
I think this is. See the.
Flying Dog. Then it's from Frederick, Maryland. Then if it's Flying Dog.
I think it's Flying Dog. I hate when they don't have the. Oh, here it is. Flying Dog.
It's from Frederick, Maryland. It's not from Colorado.
There we go.
Robert, tell your dad we hope he feels better because
I will. He's doing.
hospitals aren't fun.
No, they're not. Man. Yeah. Well, he's doing great.
Okay, good.
So, I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna ask Robert what's going on with that, but I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want the whole world to know that because unless you want to tell the whole world. But Ron, thanks for joining. We'll still be on for a few minutes, but I'm signing off. So, Michael, thanks for joining. Ron, thanks for joining. Robert, thanks for joining. This is Alex, the Beer Master, and my plug-in. I will be doing Wild Card Fruit Fridays this coming Friday. So it's anything, beer, food, whatever you want.
Okay.
So at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. This is Alex, the Beer Master, and I'll see you all on the next live stream. Next video, and John will be back next Sunday, as far as we know. If not, I'll be hosting, or Legendary Ron will be hosting. One of us will be doing it. Sucks Be Mister signing out. And thank you, chat, for joining. Sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys.